Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Kapil. This is a Dark Horse project and I am the Dark Horse. Today I want to talk about routines and more specifically about morning routines. Now for me personally and for the most part of my life, I spent most of my mornings just lying in bed as much as possible and trying to spend as many hours as possible in bed at the weekend. And I'm sure many of you could relate to that to some extent. And my routine used to typically involve checking social media posts on my phone, reading the news, and responding to work emails. And before I knew it, I was rushing to get to work or to my first appointment of the day. And it wasn't a good habit for me to put myself in through each and every day. And then at some point down the line, there was a breaking point, and I asked myself the question, what could I do to make my mornings much more productive and take back more of my own personal time? And that's when I came across a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And in this book, it describes 6 different principles to have a much more productive morning each and every day. So once I received the book, I read each and every page from front to back, applied the formulas, and made a few tweaks to suit these principles better for me and my lifestyle. And today I want to talk about my new morning routine, and hopefully these routines can help you to some extent as well. So the first part of my routine was to wake up at a certain time, which was a lot earlier than I was used to. And this involves setting the alarm clock a lot earlier back. And the way I did this day by day and week by week was to first of all set my alarm 15 minutes earlier than I previously had it on. And then as weeks go by, I would slowly tweak it back another 15 minutes and then another 15 minutes. And then after about 2 months or so, I was able to wake up about hour and a half to 2 hours earlier than my usual waking time. As for the second part of my routine, it involves having a cold shower. Again, a very difficult principle for me to adopt right from day one, but over time it got a bit easier. Now, this involves having obviously a cold shower, but right from the very start, right to the very end. And at first, it involved having to turn the dial from hot to warm to cold until I got used to that very cold setting in the shower. And this is a really good principle for me because it helps me to become much more alive, much more alert in the morning, and it really sets you up for the day. And once I got myself ready, I would then go downstairs and then I will go and open my journal book. And here it is for 2023. And I write a journal entry each and every morning. And I don't really have a structure for my journals. It's all about what comes to my mind on that day. So typically, it could involve something about, what am I looking forward to, something I might be worried about, a project that I'm working on, a reflection from the past of some sort, anything that comes to your mind. And it's a good way for me to put my thoughts onto paper. And as a result, it allows more space and more capacity in my mind. And because I've got more capacity, I can think of new thoughts rather than the same thoughts every day. And because I've got more thoughts, I can become a much more creative person as a result. The next part of my routine is about reading. And for the most part of my life, and before there was even a morning routine set up in the first place, I used to read no more than probably a couple of pages of a book every few months. And the last time I think I read an entire book was back in primary school. But now I tend to read a good few pages every morning or a good couple of chapters. And at the moment, I'm reading a book about the Atomic Habits by James Clear. And it's a book about building habits, understanding the routines and processes involved to create a new habit and how to break a bad habit as well. And for me, I like to read books about personal development, most typically, and also nonfiction. The next part of the routine involves gratitude and asking yourself questions about being grateful. So for me, I like to ask myself 6 different questions about what am I grateful for. And I'll be doing a separate video about this. But to give you an idea about what questions I ask myself every morning, it involves asking myself, what am I grateful for and what am I looking forward to? And this allows me at least, to appreciate the smaller things in life and to be more grateful for the things around me. The next principle is about walking or getting some kind of movement in your routine. So far I've talked about different principles like journaling and reading, which involve sitting down, which is why it's important to bring some sort of exercise or some kind of physical movement into the routine. Now, for me personally, I like to get some fresh air in the morning, go for a walk, get some exercise of some sort, and this really helps me to get my blood flowing in my body and really get started for the day. And last but not least, and this is like a bonus principle for me, but I try to make time to work on a certain project in the morning. And it could be one or two or three specific tasks that I want to complete that morning relating to a certain project. And it can involve, typically for me at least, about coaching, social media, or even creating videos like the one you're watching right now. So there you go. Those are the routines that I adopt every morning as part of my routine. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned so far, and it's not really a routine in itself, but something that I apply every morning, and that is to make sure that I don't use my phone every morning, at least in the first part of the morning, for the first 30 minutes. So no phone for the first 30 minutes of the day. Now, I use my phone to at least show the time for me, so I know what time it is, but I don't use it for Wi-Fi, and therefore I don't use it to connect to people or check social media, go on the internet, check the news, etc., etc. So it's a good way for me to be focused and to really disconnect myself from the outer world. And again, it's about me taking back my personal time. So no phone for the first 30 minutes at least in the morning. So there you have it. That's my morning routine, and it's worked wonders for me for the last few years. And if you're thinking of doing your own routine, I'll suggest to you to start slow and take one routine at a time. So, for example, if you want to start a new routine, start with journaling, for example, or start with reading. Take one at a time, and then over time, slowly build on those routines rather than doing everything in one go. And then what you realize is that over time, you'll actually work out a routine or a formula that works well for you. Because again, there is no routine which is a one size fits all for everyone. So take it slowly, take your time, and then again, you'll find a rhythm in the morning that works well for you. So good luck to you guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Again, I'm Kapil, I'm the Dark Horse, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.